what's crazy is like I know when I was younger, like the coolest thing that you could do as far as like for a hack was you could like mod your gamer tag or some shit like that. And it's like it won't fucking with the game, but like you just had a cool ass gamer tag. Like I remember in what was it, Modern Warfare 2, you could uh you could modify your whole clan tag and your gamer tags. So, like you could put like the Xbox buttons inside your clan tag and
Yeah,
then
like
like
the emoticons and shit.
yeah. So like I did that shit one time and I used to have one for like each character or whatever that I wanted to do. And like I think I had one for like Wolverine or no, for my clan tag I had X-Men and then I had Wolverine in blue and yellow letters for my gamer tag and I did that shit. And like I won't hurt nobody because I won't cheating or nothing like that. It was just I modified my clan tag and my gamer tag. And then like I knew one of my homies, I still ain't fuck with him to this day for that shit, but he had a modded controller and that motherfucker like he would plug it in and like he would have his fucking FAL shooting like a fucking and that shit was shooting like a goddamn P90 or some shit, bro. Every time.
Niggas is ridiculous, man.
Yeah,
I seen
bro.
a nigga that I was used to play Apex with. I seen a nigga that I used to play Apex with, and he posted a strike pack on his story. And,
Yeah, that shit wild.
and the funny thing is, I posted one of those NGLs on my story, and somebody said we need to play Apex. I said, seeing you out there lately, and I had a feeling it was him. But I'm like, nigga, if you buy that, I hope you don't think we finna be playing,
Oh god.
cause we're not, bro. We're not finna be playing. You buy that shit. That shit is dead.
Nah, but like that just take me back to like what I was saying. I was like, shit, man, when we was younger, like the quality of the games and shit was
Oh yeah, I
it
was
was
typing it in the what's
magnificent.
name.
It was magnificent because it's just like you could get the most out of your game for whatever you paid, which is another point that I want to get at is games cost way too fucking much now. And I get that it takes a lot of money to produce these games and like to it goes a lot into the making of it, but at the same time, it's like we not asking for all this extra shit that y'all be trying to do with some of these games. Like we just
That
want
is crazy when you think about it, ain't it?
bro,
Like,
games used to be like what, like 30, $40 on PlayStation 2? And now that shit then jumped up to 60, $70 off rip. And then if you want to get all these extra DLCs or like added content that like nobody ever fucking uses anyways, shit like $90 or 120. So like it jumps up a couple a couple of dollars each tier. But
mm-hmm.
it's like so for example, I'll give an example for 2K. 2K, you get the base game for $70, 69.99. Or no, my bad, 59.99, $60. You get the
No,
base game.
no, you're right. It's 70. If
Oh,
you on
70 now?
next gen,
Okay.
it's 70.
I'll
Yeah,
say yeah, you get the base game.
next gen consoles, all the games cost $70 now. $69.99.
Right. So you get the base game. Then for like 10 extra dollars or 20 extra dollars, you get the whatever edition they want to call it at the time. They don't do nothing but give you a little bit of VC. All right, cool. Whatever. That's helping you level up your mod player and you start off with a little bit of advantage compared to the motherfuckers that bought the regular base game. But
Mm-hmm.
then you buy the most expensive edition, like Legend edition or whatever, and that gives you more VC and then like a whole bunch of other shit for game modes that nobody ever really plays on fucking 2K anyways, like my career or not my career, was it my
My
oh
my
yeah,
team.
yeah, my team and like fucking my GM and shit like that. And it's like nobody cares about that shit, but you adding this as an incentive to spend more money for your company just for your game to be broke on day one or just for your game to be hyped for the first month of release and then the shit dies off because there's so many bugs or y'all didn't drop like 3 patches within 2 weeks and each time y'all drop a patch it's something else wrong with the game. So it's like why not take the money that
And
y'all
then on
making.
top of that, them damn shits take so much space on top of that.
Exactly. Like you taking up 100 gigs for one game and the fucking console only got 1 terabyte. So you mean to tell me I can only hold up to maybe 9 or 10 full games like this, and then I gotta sacrifice and go out and buy even more space with an external hard drive or shit. Now they got the expansion pack for the like
And
the
you gotta
new
hope that
new
shit don't
gens.
break. 'Cause,
Exactly.
sometimes those shits be faulty as hell, and then next thing you know, you gotta install all those games all over again after you buy another one.
Shit, even with my Series S right now, like I got the 1 terabyte expansion, and I still got my 2 terabyte external hard drive from my original Xbox that I had, and like I got so many games up there, but they all big ass fucking games. So it's like even still, I'm struggling to figure out what games I want to keep on my hard drive and what I don't want to keep on there. But like you, we paying all these money or all this money to these companies, and then they're not doing anything to make the consumer enjoy the experience of whatever product they're giving to us. We got to deal with all the bugs and all the fucking cheats and the toxic communities that come with this shit. Like at least with
Top of
games
that,
like Modern Warfare 2,
like, where is the security?
that's what I'm saying. Like,
Hello, police, police. Like, god damn.
but like with like Modern Warfare 2, when that first dropped, that was I'll never forget because that was my fucking freshman year in high school, 2009. That game dropped. I was hype as a bitch to get it. Got it day one. The game worked flawlessly. Like everybody hopped online. It wasn't no bugs. Like the shit ran just fine. I think they had released like a couple updates on it like throughout the year as it went by or whatever. Cause COD always dropped in like October, November ish.
Yep.
So like closer to when it began time, I think they had dropped like the first Black Ops or whatever. Like people were still heavy on MW2 because the game was so good off release and like nothing was wrong with it. Everybody enjoyed the game. Yeah, granted the lobbies and shit was toxic, but nobody cared because that was just like gaming community at that time. Like it was making a transition
It
from
was
being like
just
a family friendly
just
environment
game.
to like this is competitive. Like motherfuckers don't care about your feelings. You on this game, like we not sparing your feelings type shit. So for us to evolve from one space to another, like the games just as we progress later on into the years, the shit just keeps gradually declining. And sooner or later, before we know it, like people aren't gonna wanna be playing these games no more because like they're not satisfied with what they paying for. You got us out here paying more money, but we getting a worse product than we have 10, 20 years ago. So it's like, I don't know. I just don't get it. I really don't get it.
Yeah, the shit bittersweet because the way I look at it, the way I look at anything in life like that, it's like, well, this shit getting worse, but it's alright though, cause it's making way more space for the better. So that's how I look at it.
Yeah, for sure, for sure.
Honestly, if I was an indie game maker and I ain't really had no games around on my belt like that, and I was making games, I'm definitely finna crank. Well, I'm finna crank these games out. I'm pushing games out, cause it's like the games are so trash now. They got a chance to take over.
And that's
If
why,
they drop Titanfall 3, Titanfall 3, right? Yeah, they
yeah,
drop
yeah, three.
Titanfall 3, or fucking Metal Honor come out with another game, or what else? What's another shooter? Fuck it. Any shooter for real, for real. Because Battlefield flopped on their last release. I played it for a while. That shit was kind
Mm-hmm.
of cool. We already know COD. COD been flopping the last three. So the only reason people fail to realize that these games will still be alive, bro, is because of fucking the content creators. Honestly,
Yep.
if COD didn't have they pub stompers getting they little lobbies on top of that, and that's another thing too. I don't know if you know who the Murder Show is, but he was talking about how I forgot what dude name. It's an Asian dude. I forgot his name. But he like a pub stomper on COD, and he wasn't doing that well. Come to find out he was only doing so well because they was getting like, you ever notice how like the top the top streamers or top whatever, when they be playing, bro, they be getting some good ass lobbies. Like the niggas in they lobbies be ass.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and like that's what they were saying. Like, long story short, that's what the video was about. Like, just the fact that they be getting these good ass lobbies, but we don't.
Nah, that's facts
So
though. And then another thing is a lot of these pro players they have multiple alt accounts. So when they stream, it's like rare unless they're playing like in a tournament or like if they're playing for a sponsored event where they'll actually play on their main account because they just want to go up there and they want to like get in these shit ass lobbies with all these fucking kids that's like still trying to learn a game at their level, and they get in there on those lobbies and they make the game. I wouldn't say unenjoyable, but they make the game hard for casuals, and that's kind of where Apex is dropping the ball because um they're catering more to the pro players, which don't get me wrong, I love watching pro players like play at like the highest skill level that you can for Apex, but for the casual gamer to come to Apex and then like try and want to get better and potentially become one of those like comp players that plays ranked and like makes it to high ranks. It makes it hard for them to learn the game because you got two types of people that are playing ranked. You run into a person that's like pretty chill and they like super good at the game, but like they're not always able to teach, like they're not good teachers. And then you got the other side where it's the toxic players that play at a high level and they'll cut you off for every fucking mistake that you make, or they'll like tell you how bad you are. They're not like trying to pretty much they're not trying to teach you what you're doing wrong. They're just gonna sit there and fucking be condescending the whole time. It makes you not want to play the game no more. It makes it unenjoyable. So it's like
Hmm.
when it comes down to games like Apex, especially now with all these BRs that's going on, um, it's definitely a changing culture for gaming as far as how it used to be for regular, just like regular multiplayer like Halo and shit like that, where it
Yeah,
was like,
honestly, I honestly feel like people can say whatever they want to say. I feel like Battle Royale ruined it.
oh yeah, for sure,
Fortnite ruined gaming.
for sure.
It might be one of the best games coming out. That's cool. Congrats to them. For real, like bravo. They got so many brand deals, they got so many skins. Like I know people that have spent from $10 all the way to multiple thousands of dollars on that damn game.
mm-hmm.
So they're doing a thing. Props to them. Like you can't knock nobody hustle. But it's like, bro, the fact that y'all made a free game and the cosmetics cost, and that's how y'all making y'all profit. Bro, people are just now everybody want to crank out a battle royale, battle royale, battle royale. And it's like the games, but these people are not doing it how they did it because I ain't gonna hold you. The reason that Fortnite will always be like the leader when it comes to that battle royale shit, bro, is because they the only people you can say is making a battle royale. And one, the cheaters are being actually stopped, and two, you don't even see that many bugs.
Yeah, and
And the shit crossplay on top of that to
that's
even add more stress to the game. The game crossplay, bro,
that's what I was
and
gonna
it's
hit
still
on
doing
too,
well.
because
And it's still doing well. It's crazy.
like with Fortnite, and that's one thing that I can say between Fortnite and PUBG, those were like the two first battle royales that like became
Yep, I forgot
big.
all about PUBG. Shout out
But
PUBG.
like, so PUBG, it's had its bugs, but that was like in the
It was in
early
beta though. You
stages.
remember?
Yeah,
It
that's what I'm
just
saying.
came out of
It
beta
was the
like
early
what, 2 years
stages
ago?
when it had its bugs, but once they released like the full game or whatever, like it was fine. But like one thing that I can say that both of those games have done well is they actually listen to their community as well. So like if the Fortnite community said like, oh hey, I kind of want to see this character in the next battle pass, or I want to see like this character in the future, then Fortnite or Epic that's in charge of Fortnite, they'll actually listen to whoever's telling them like, yeah, we want to see this in the future or whatever, and they'll bring it eventually. Like it might not be right then and there when they ask, but they listen to the consumers of their game. But games like fucking Apex and Warzone, it's been people that's been complaining about the same shit over and over and over
Nigga,
again.
console still ain't got FOV that they can actually change. I think that matter of fact, you can change it, but it only go up to like a small number. I think
Yeah.
most games go to 120. I think that shit only go to like 80 or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
So you can't really change it.
But it's like these both of those like Warzone and Apex, they just don't listen to their community. They rather listen to the bigger names that are like making them money or whatever, or like bringing in the engagement. And I think that's where the shortfall is when it comes to being able to make their game better. Because the game, like when Apex first dropped, the game was great. Like it was great all the way up until like these
And it
most
dropped out of
recent.
nowhere on top of that.
That's what I'm
So it did
saying.
it did well for it to be a game that had no trailer and just
Exactly.
dropped out of the blue.
And like it's been a good game all the way up until like the most recent like past 2 or 3 seasons. Once these last past 2 or 3 seasons hit and like the whole ranked community became the way it is now and like all the bugs and the pay to win and all that shit, like
Yep.
it makes it hard for people to actually enjoy the game and want to keep continuing to support it. And now, even still on Twitter, they got this thing where they're saying like, "Oh, hey, we're gonna boycott Apex in August," and it's like, why are we boycotting a game out of all things? Like, it's a fucking video game. That, like, I can understand if it
Like
was
that's how bad it is. It's crazy.
exactly. It's gotten to that point where people are actually willing to boycott a video game just because the devs and whoever else is dealing with the game, they just won't listen to the people who actually enjoy the game.
Oh yeah, and I forgot who told me. You just made me think about it. Somebody was saying how people were complaining in the Reddit forum or whatever they call those Reddit pages, whatever they call them, the forums. They were
Hmm.
complaining in like the Reddit forums about like they were just I guess they was having a discussion about like why the skins cost so much and shit. And basically the devs was calling them stupid, and then it got like real controversial, whatever.
Right.
So now the devs don't respond to anybody in the Apex forums now,
Okay.
because basically they didn't got in trouble for it. So now they just trying to lay low and hold their head. So now they just not saying nothing at all.
And then I'm glad you brought that up actually because that's bringing me to another point where like these big names in the Apex community, they're known for saying like some very like distasteful things, and then they kind of just like they get ridiculed for it for like a day or two, but then after that it's like it goes back to normal, like nothing happens, and they're still continuing to make all these large sums of money and still getting these sponsorship deals and all this stuff. And it's like, when are we gonna start holding these people accountable? Because you got people out here fucking disrespecting the LGBT community and all that stuff. You got people out here pretending to be a part of those communities or pretending to be allies. You got people out here being racist. Like it's all types of different social issues that's going on. Yet, like nobody's catching backlash for it. It's always, oh well, they were just doing it for engagement or they were trolling or whatever, and it gets swept under the rug. And they're still keeping these big deals from all these companies and staying with their sponsorships. But then it's like, let it be someone of color to say something or to do something, and then now they're getting canceled, or
Is raps.
yeah, that's what I'm saying. They're getting canceled, or like they're just at a disadvantage, and I really don't like that. Like everybody, I feel like it doesn't matter what color you are, you should still be held accountable. But why should this person of this color get such a blanket for like all their statements and stuff compared to someone that's saying basically the same thing as them, but like they're of darker color, they're a person of color or whatever. So I don't know. I just don't agree with that shit. Like, I feel like if you gonna hold one person accountable, hold everybody accountable that's gonna say some out of pocket shit like that.
And that brings me back to what I've been thinking lately. Like honestly, for lack of better words, like fuck all these like pasty communities and like these companies. Like if there's a black community out there and they might not be doing well, like Free the Root, for example, they might not
Hmm.
be fucking Dove, but they somebody.
Yeah,
And
for
I'm
sure.
finna see what's up. Like, cause fuck this shit, bro. Like there's
Nah,
no way. There's
I
no fucking
I
way y'all
agree a
treating
hundred
people like
percent.
this. Like that's crazy, bro.
I definitely
I'm
agree a
just
100%.
like might as well just get under our people and work like that versus trying to cater to these motherfuckers and we say one thing wrong and we don't hear from them again ever.
Hmm.
Like that's fucking crazy.
And that's the thing that I feel like us as a black community have, we kind of drop the ball on every time, because it's like what we don't realize being in our community is like there's strength in numbers. So anybody Like you can look at any other culture besides black culture, and they people gonna support their people regardless. Like white people gonna support white people, the Hispanics gonna support the Hispanics. Like it don't matter where you come from, they gonna like if they find out that you one of them, then they gonna be there. They gonna make sure that you make it to the top, and they all
Hmm.
gonna it's gonna take a village, but they make that shit happen. But for us, we got this crab in a barrel mindset at times, whereas like you might see one successful black person doing something well, and then you got this other person over here that's kind of like looking at them with the side eye, and they're like, damn, like what the fuck are they doing so good that makes them so successful or whatever? And it's like, damn, I want that too, but I ain't gonna sit here and like try and support their shit, or I'm not gonna do that because that mean that it's taking away the fucking attention away from me. But that's not the case, because if you showing your genuine support for somebody and you sitting here promoting their stuff and you pulling up to all the events and all that stuff, they gonna end up seeing that you fuck with them and they gonna fuck with you. And once y'all build that connection, then that's when y'all communities kind of mesh together and y'all start growing each other up. And then it's just like a revolving cycle. Once one person meets one person and they click, then they get introduced to another part of their community, and then just it's like a domino effect. And a lot of people don't realize that, which that's kind of what we was talking about earlier when we was shooting that video, when we said like how we met through other people, but we all found out that we was from the same area, and like ever since then we've been supporting each other nonstop. So it's
Yeah,
like,
it's just an automatic thing.
yeah, that's
But
what I'm
then again,
saying.
it's also a people thing because like me, like I say all the time, like I'm determined behind this shit.
Yeah, for sure. It's all in your
So
mindset.
yeah, it's really the mindset of the person. Like, yeah, it's easy to it really is easy to fucking communicate with other people and try to get your name out there by
Hmm.
talking to people. Like, it's really easy. Like, people make it hard, if we're gonna be honest, and that's just really what it is. People just making the shit hard.
Right.
But you work hard and you let motherfuckers know you're serious. Because honestly, I'm not even about to be around a motherfucker that's not serious. I can tell you that right now. Like, especially when it comes to this shit, because I put so much of my time into this shit. Like I said, I've been doing YouTube since I was 14, bro. So if you think I'm finna play with you when it comes to this shit, I'm not.
Motherfucker. If you think I
Like,
came here to play, motherfucker, I'm not.
God, God damn it, I'm not. For real, like, I'm not here to fucking
Nah,
play with
I
y'all.
feel that 100% though. Like that's definitely been how I've been moving for like shit since last year. 'Cause like I was on this whole little thing. I'm just like, okay, well, if they support me, then I'm gonna support back type thing. But I can't do that because that's not how networking works. Like you just gotta get out there and you gotta mingle and you gotta like try and put a bug in people's ear. Like even like you just gotta have good intent no matter what it is. Like even if they not supporting you at the time, you still gotta sit there and be like, oh well, I mean shit, I like their content, so I'm gonna still support regardless. And you just gotta trust in that good karma to come back to you. You can't sit there and go tit for tat with motherfuckers, because then it becomes, well, what are you really doing it for? Like, are you doing it because you enjoy it, or are you doing it because you're trying to get that engagement and you trying to like make that money? And I feel like for both of us, this is both something that like we really enjoy, so we do it for the passion. But like, it's a lot of people out here, and I actually I'm not gonna drop a name or whatever, but I was talking to them the other day on Twitter, and they were pretty much like, "Oh well, I felt like I wasn't doing enough because I wasn't getting like these big donations or all the support that other streamers that I've seen was getting." And it kind of just like is discouraging and all that stuff. I'm like, you okay? Well, like apparently you wasn't in the streaming industry for the right thing. Then if you only looking to do this for the money, which the money is nice if you can make it to that point, but until then, it's got to be driven based off of your like how passionate you are about your craft. So you can't come out the gate and expect to be getting all these thousands and thousands of dollars for just playing games when you haven't put in the work for it, and you haven't like been sitting there trying to like connect yourself with different communities. And we all go through the same thing where we have that imposter syndrome where it's like, damn, maybe I'm not doing enough, or maybe I'm not cut out for this shit. But after you take a little break and you reevaluate what you doing with your content, you come to realize it's like, damn, like I'm doing more than what somebody else that just started did. Or I remember like this time last year, I wasn't even nowhere near this point that I'm at right now. So it's like it kind of gives you the extra boost to keep going. And I feel like
Yeah,
that's something that everybody should do. Is like they should, even if it don't even gotta be a long break. Like just take like a week worth of time away from creating any type of content. Like just do other things that you enjoy, whether it be reading or going to the movies or retail therapy, or it don't matter. Go and do something that you enjoy. Get away from the whole streaming community and just kind of refresh and restart your mentality, because once you come back, you're gonna be like hyped up, you're gonna be ready to push out more content. Like, and I told myself
that's
I
why I
have to
took
do
that
that.
break a couple of days ago, or however long that was ago, when I was texting you and I was like, yeah, I was on a little break or whatever. I
Exactly.
was at the crib. I just didn't even have the game plugged up. Like every now and then, since I've done it, the first time I first done it, I've been like, well, unplug my game
Hmm.
here and there, and I just won't even play it.
That's what I'm saying. Like sometimes it just takes that little recharge, because it's like you burn yourself out from streaming all day every day for 7 days straight, or however many days out of your schedule that you stream. If you're trying to be a consistent streamer or whatever, it burns you out. You get tired of loading up every day and talking to people in chat every day and thinking about what videos you got to edit and all this other stuff. It's like it's very mentally what's the word I'm looking for? It's very mentally not challenging, but
Yeah, like mentally
taxing.
draining.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it takes a lot on your mental when you have to think about these things all day on top of the stuff that you already have to deal with outside of creating content. So like between whether it's work or family or health or whatever it is, like it's so many different factors that go into that whole aspect, to the fact where it's like, okay, well, I need a break. Like I need to take a break and figure out what I want to do to move on from how I'm feeling right now.
and
I,
as you said before, ain't nothing wrong with taking a break.
exactly. Like I'm quick to be like, hey, I ain't streaming today. I'm As you can tell right now, I ain't streamed in shit 2 days, and it ain't even just because of this trip. I could have streamed both today and yesterday, but I was just like, I'm not. I don't feel like 100% to where I would be able to produce some good content for anybody that
Yeah, you
comes
know.
in. And that's one thing that I will never want to do, is I don't want to half-ass anything that I do. So if I know for a fact that I can't give you all my 100%, then I'm not gonna do it. I
Yeah,
will.
and that's like my whole principle for this shit, which is like I want to create that content that was created for me when I was younger, when a nigga was feeling down or something like. So I don't want to be on stream and somebody come to me, and they come to me just for me to be like, hype with them, like I hype them up or whatever the case may be.
Right.
I don't want to come here and they don't feel that type of way because now I'm sitting here and they sitting here and they're like, damn, well, usually I come here to be all hype
Mm-hmm.
or like to get cheered up. But right now, bro, like, and don't get me wrong, yes, content creators are human, so it happens. But you have to, like, you can't use that as an excuse every time. We're gonna be honest. Like, you gotta take it upon yourself to get back and let yourself relax. Like, don't just keep pressuring yourself into this shit, knowing damn well you're not ready.
Right. And that's why another big thing that I like to tell people is like you have to take that time for yourself. Like take vacations or take breaks, or fucking, even if it's to the point where you don't feel like streaming, you want to take a little hiatus for a couple months or whatever. It's just like if you feel like that's what you need to get your mind right and focus on what you gotta focus on, this streaming stuff will always be here. Like it'll be here when you get back. Your community, if they
Whether it's
if
another platform or whatever the case.
that's what I'm saying. If your community was really rocking with you, like how they say they are, they're gonna be here waiting on you. They're gonna be checking up on you. They're gonna be making sure everything's straight, and
Exactly. They
they
ain't
know
even gonna be waiting on you. They really gonna be checking up on you.
exactly. And it's like,
Unless it's one of them people, because I know it's a lot of people in like the gaming network or slash community that don't even be on social media and stuff like that. Then
mhm,
obviously you're not about to give your number to every viewer. So
right.
you know,
But it's dope because like you run into people that actually genuinely care about you and like support your stuff.
From all the way across the world, right? Like that's so crazy.
Right.
Like my literally, bro, my biggest rate is from somebody, a streamer that's verified in the UK.
Mm-hmm.
And I was sitting there like, what? And that's crazy because like since I started streaming, bro, that's happened to me a lot. Like I
Right.
be getting love from like all over the world, and that should be crazy to me because I'm like, wow, like
Bro,
y'all really don't know me at all.
my homie Flappy, or not Flappy, Floppy.
No,
I don't know. It's Floppy or
nothing you
Flappy.
think about choppy.
No, yeah, Choppy. But yeah, he from Germany. And literally every time that I load up, bro, he comes in there and like he don't even I don't even be asking him to say nothing. Like he'll come in there and lurk for a little bit and then he'll come speak at the beginning of the stream because it'd be early as hell in the morning for him. It'd be like damn near 4 a.m., 5 a.m. when I go live. And he'll come in
Yeah,
there, he'll say something, he'll talk for a little bit. And then he's like, all right, cool, I'm going to sleep. I'm like, shit, bro, I appreciate you for coming through this early in the morning for you. Like, I know you got school, it's on the weekend. Like, you could be asleep right now, but you decided to stay up just a little bit because you knew I was going live at this time. And you coming in here just to talk to me for a little bit, vibe out, and then you going and doing your own thing. And I appreciate people like that because that means that I've realized that people actually genuinely enjoy my content for the person that I am, and not just because I play a certain game or because like I'm sitting here trying to do all these trends and stuff for different social medias. But like I don't know, that's the rewarding part to creating content is when you know that people actually fucking with your shit. Like they fucking with it because they fuck with it, you're not fucking with it just because they feel like they can benefit from it.